Rise Academy's history, number one. And I really believe that today is going to be a day that a lot of people here are going to always remember for the rest of their career. Like John said, if you guys don't know me, hello, my name is Rafael Vargas. A lot of people here, there's new faces. Welcome. Hopefully you feel welcome in the home. We have chef cooking. We're about to go eat, hopefully in the next 45 minutes. What we're going to talk about is, number one, the vision of Real Rise Academy, where we are going, how we're going to get there, and also we're going to talk about specifically the products and also the compensation plan. Because I promise you guys, you probably have never seen a compensation plan as strong as the one that we're about to show you. And we've been in constant development of the compensation plan, of the products, and the vision of this company. You know, going back to the vision of this company, you know, a lot of people see me and they say, hey man, who's this kid? Crazy kid with crazy outfit and tattoos everywhere, right? Who is this crazy kid? And it really goes back to my foundation. You know, at the age of 20, when I got started, you know, Marcus, John is correct. You know, I have made $30 million gross in my career as an owner, a CEO, an entrepreneur. Started in real estate investing, flipped over 1,000 real estate investment transactions in my career now, right? I started as a realtor didn't work, went to the investing realm, okay? And then I went from real estate to e-commerce in 2020 when I saw the shift happening. And when that happened, when COVID happened, you know, I was able to catapult our business and our e-commerce business. We did over $15 million that year. I spoke in front of stages, in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. I used to teach people how to flip real estate. And I'm saying this just to say that I should not be here in front of the room. 99% of the people here are more likely to be in front of this room than me. I was the one at the age of 20 when I heard about this real estate investment dream, telling my mother that, Mom, I promise you, she was a single mother working 2 jobs, trying to support me and my mentally disabled brother. And I remember all I wanted to do was help her. And at the age of 20, I found out about this real estate wholesaling investment thing. And I said, Mom, I heard about this thing and I think I can make a lot of money doing this. You know, maybe $100,000 a year, maybe. She was making $30,000 at one job and another, you know, $15,000 in a part-time job trying to go to school. I said, Mom, I promise, I think we can help us. Dad wasn't around at the time. And she said, Rafael, you're crazy. You'll never do real estate. Real estate doesn't work. You can't do it. You're not fit. Go get a job. Go to college, right? I got kicked out of high school when I was 17 years old as a sophomore, and I never went back. Okay, well I did. I went to alternative school, and I didn't go back after alternative school. And I went to a school where I was at a public school where I was socially interactive with everybody, straight to an alternative school where it was 8 kids and all of them were gangbangers. And I used to take the bus, public transportation with crackheads that took me 2 hours back and forth from DC to Virginia. That's me. That's not who should be in the front of this room right now. I should not be here. I actually should be dead. Reality. So when I told my mother this dream of me becoming $100,000 a year earner, right? $100,000 a year earner, she looked at me crazy. I told my friends, looked at me crazy. I went to go, I said, okay, they're all crazy. I'll go get a job at a real estate investment office. I went to go to that job to try and get that job at a real estate investment office. They said, Rafael, you are not fit for real estate. Go get out of this office. They kicked me out. They laughed me out of the room. And I'll never forget, because I went into my car and I was crying. I was so mad. And I said, look, everyone may be against me, but I felt in my heart that one person was for me, and that was God. And I felt like God was for me. And at the age of 20, the world was against me. I used to make calls from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, nonstop. I would not eat because I did not want to even utilize 10 minutes of non-phone time. So from 8 to 8, I would be dialing and getting hung up on, cursed at. That I was getting beat up every day. I had to run into the house and run into the basement because I didn't want my mother fighting with me about going to get a job and helping her pay the bills. I had to leave my brother, who was mentally disabled, at home for 16 hours a day, make him peanut butter sandwiches and a banana, and go out to knock on doors, to get slammed in front of my face, back to back to back. I should not be here. I am failure and failure and failure. But you know, that guy that said I'd never be successful in real estate, he could measure my professionalism. And at the time, my professionalism level was here and his standard was here. But you know what he couldn't measure? He couldn't measure my heart. He couldn't measure my will to win. My will to win, he couldn't see it. He couldn't feel it. Because every time I went down into that basement of my mother's home and crying myself, sometimes I went 3 days with no sleep because I would work so hard, and because he was right, I wasn't professional. I used to read books. I learned speed reading. I learned how to read 3 books a week. And so every night when I went to my basement and crying myself to sleep some nights, being like, man, this is hard, I want to give up, it was like God telling me, don't stop, keep going, keep going, keep going. And that drive and that will to win is what got me to close my first deal, my second deal, and then my 100th deal. And then by the age of 23, my dream was to retire my mother. And I remember I closed 2 deals in Washington, D.C. You know who it is. By the way, this is Matt Labini. He's one of our private equity guys. Awesome guy, owns a huge oil company. Great guy. You know Charles Perret. Closed the deal. We closed the deal. He introduced me. I closed the deal, made $300,000. Actually, Charles was so mad I made that much money on the deal. I know you remember that. He was pissed. I made $300,000. He said, what 23-year-old should make this much on a deal, right? But I knew how to do real estate, and look, I earned it. Long story short, at the age of 23, I remember closing 2 deals. I remember taking my mom to work and saying, Mom, you're going to go inside and you're going to tell your boss that this is your last day. She said, why? And I showed her 2 checks, real estate checks, I made in 1 month and a half, a total of $550,000 net in my pocket in Washington, D.C., flipping properties. He knows he's actually bought properties, and his brother's bought a lot of properties from me. Every deal, I've done 1,000 deals, verified. He's bought them from me, right? So what I'm trying to say, guys, is, and I'll never forget that day. She hugged me, she cried, and she said, I'm so sorry for not believing you. And the vision, and this long story where you guys are like, what does this mean? Why is this important? This is important because this is the vision of Real Rise Academy. This is the vision. The vision of Real Rise Academy is for the people that felt neglected. The people that felt like no one believed in them. The people that were laughing in their face that said they'll never be successful. This is what this company is built off of. It's providing a vision for the average person or the less than average person, and me, if you're talking about me, the less than average person, to create a real opportunity of success. And it's determined by one thing. What's in your heart? What's that will to win? It's not determined by your demographic. You guys can see there's all different types of demographics in this room. Age, race, sex. It's not determined by your education level. We have some Harvard guys probably here. We have some non-college, non-high school guys like me. It's not determined by how you grew up, rich or poor. It's determined by one thing, your will to win. And our goal at Real Rise Academy is to create a vision for people to win with the best products in the market that network marketing has to offer and the best compensation plan that network marketing has to offer. We're not arguably, I truly believe, non-arguably, we are the best compensation plan. After consulting with countless consultants and paying all these consultants and comp plan designers, we really are. And the other thing I realized as well is I started analyzing all of our competitors. This is what I do. Before I started this company, started this company last year in November. It was actually from one of my competitors that was trying to bring me to join his company. I said, you know, I'm gonna start my own. I'll never forget the same call. It was the same feeling I got when I got kicked out of the office. Haha, good luck. I was like, man, don't do that. You just, don't do that. Don't do that for yourself. Because now you spark something inside of me. Because it's not to prove you something, it's to prove me something. It's to prove that we can really change an entire industry. I believe it. And this is the reason why I believe network marketing and Forex education, or financial technology and education, is game changing. And why there are a few companies doing it right now, but why we're going to do it differently and how we're going to do it differently. And the way we're going to do it differently is, number one, is, well, let's step back a second. Why is Forex and network marketing, if you guys don't realize, why is this the most powerful combination? Very simply, okay? We do not have to deal with, network marketing has been around for a long time. It's $190 billion a year business. It's created the most millionaires out of any industry. Network marketing has factually created more millionaires and six-figure earners than any industry. So it's a beautiful industry to be a part of. On top of that, it's all about lifting each other up. Why Forex and network marketing? Because network marketing originated with Amway's and Herbalife physical products. What's the difficulty of physical products? Getting them overseas, getting them in different countries, operational headaches, operational costs, cost of goods sold, very high. What does that mean? Less margin for distributors. Meaning you guys, right? We have some multi-seven-figure earners in this room. I'm not gonna point them out, but multi-seven-figure network marketing earners in this room. We have multi-six-figure network marketing earners, seven-figure network marketing earners in this room. So you guys care about making sure that it's as fast as possible to win. So for us, we realized, okay, financial education is a digital product, less cost of goods sold, can take it globally, no restrictions on licensing in any countries. We can really explode this thing. And the second thing is our product makes customers money. So now if I want to participate, I don't have to be part of the comp plan. I can participate by just being a customer. And by the way, I think our product, as you know, Alicio, just this week, and he knows, all of our new customers are winning Trading Forex with the signals. Guys, the signals that we provide and the education we provide and the live trading sessions, they're not just by some random guy. They're done by eight-figure Forex traders. Guys that made, in March, $1.2 million net. I have the statements to prove their validity, their validity. So this is why Forex and network marketing combined are so different. Now, how do we differentiate ourselves from regular Forex network marketing companies? Very simply. When I studied our biggest competitors, one of our biggest competitors, I'm not going to name their name, but they're doing roughly $80 million a month. They have about 400,000 active people. 400,000 active people. 400,000 active people. Right now we have about 2,500 active people. Thanks to JJ and his incredible team and everybody that's been part of it for the last 6 days, you guys have added at least 700 people in just the last 6 days, right? So just to back up here, right? The biggest differentiating factor is the fact that, you know, we're in such infancy stages. You're not entering a company that has 100,000, 200,000 members. But I promise you this, at the end of this year, we will have anywhere between 75,000 to 100,000 members by the end of this year. Now, what does that mean for you guys as distributors? What does that mean? I think a lot of you guys already knows what that means.
They're falling in under us.
Right, a lot of that.
$1 million a month.
Right, consistent revenue, downfall. We're building a very strong company leg down. So ladies and gentlemen, now is the opportunity to be a part of this. And I think you guys are going to be blown away about the compensation plan. The same way that a lot of these multi-six-figure and seven-figure network marketers, when they saw it, and that's why they're here today. That's why they flew in today. That's why they drove from Tampa today or from anywhere today. And we thank you guys so much for your time. So long story short, ladies and gentlemen, our goal is very simple, okay? Number one, we're not selling, okay? That's first off, because I was offered already by two of our competitors large offers. I mean, something that as a 30-year-old guy, you'd be like, why didn't you take that? That's really nice. You know, 50, 70 million, like that's not bad, right? I think that'd be good. I could be 30 years old and say, hey, 50 million, 70 million, sure. Bye guys, right? I could do that. That's not what, I'm not in this for just money. This is different. For me, this is different. This is, for me, to find those group of people like me that were kicked in the face, that were kicked down, that had this big dream and no one believed in them. This company is a company for those people and for us to empower them in their vision and belief. And not just give them a comp plan and say, here you go build, but get them a house, get them tools of marketing, get them financial investments to grow in themselves and also in their own business within us. We want them to get here, and when they come here, they feel home at Real Rise Academy. They feel like someone believes in them. But when they go home, no one believes in them. Oh, that pyramid scheme. Oh, you're doing that pyramid thing. Oh, the Forex. Oh, that's a scam. Forex is a $7 trillion a day market. It's not a scam. It's the largest financial market in the world. Okay? Network marketing has been around for 30 plus years. It's a $190 billion industry. It is going nowhere globally. It's only getting bigger. And guess what? Real Rise Academy only needs 3% market share of that 190 billion. And guess what? I'm not stopping, and we're not stopping until we hit that. Because I'm not thinking about the financials. I'm thinking about the lives. And everyone here should already know it's 1 million lives. 1 million lives. That's what we are here to do. We are here to get 1 million lives into our organization. And not just bring them in, you know, get them trying to build, have a terrible product, all these confusion, and get them out. No, we want to radically change their life. Over 1 million lives, globally, all over the world. And we're going to do it. And I think that we'll hit this 1 million lives number in 3 years. And if you guys are here in 3 years, what does that mean for you guys? If our compensation plan is to hit $1 million a month, 50,000 members, well, what does that mean for a lot of people in this room? How many 8-figure producers will be made out of this room? 7-figure producers, multi-7-figure, 6-figure, multi-6-figure. And some of these people here are not going to be here tomorrow or the next week. And that's also okay. That's okay. Because God's vision for everybody is different. But this is something that I live, breathe, and die for, is this. So that $100 million offer of one of our biggest competitors, 2 of our biggest competitors, $70 million, $50 million offers, I say thanks but no thanks. Because it's not about the money for me. We're here for longevity. And one of the biggest things for longevity is making sure we're compliant. Because the SEC and the FTC are 2 government bodies that don't play. So we're going to be a compliant, educational company that teaches people how to trade in the financial markets. So ladies and gentlemen, long story short, our goal is to impact 1 million lives globally. And we're going to do it through teaching people how to trade in the most, arguably, the best way to make money online today, the fastest way to make money online today, right? And also with the arguably best compensation plan in network marketing today. So hopefully you guys fully understand and see this vision and understand that we want to make this a home for people. This home that we got, we want to make you guys feel at home, the chef, everything. This is a home of empowerment. It's a home of empowerment, and that's exactly what we have here today. Last thing I want to say about myself and my own qualifications as an entrepreneur. Yes, I flipped 1,000 real estate deals. Yes, at my peak, I was doing 300, 400 houses a year. I had a whole organization. I've hired 6 Sigma consultants, understand process mapping. I built countless software, countless CRMs. I had 30 employees in my central office, Alicio has seen it in Tampa, Florida, 5,000 square foot office. I've done all these cool things, made 8 figures, multi 8 figures in my career. But one thing I realized and I really resonate with is the largest insurance network marketing company in the world was A.L. Williams. And A.L. Williams CEO was a football coach, a high school football coach, not an NFL, a high school football coach. And he went from high school football coach to multi-billion-dollar insurance network marketing company, fighting and taking the market share of Prudential, big, hairy, billion, multi-billion-dollar company. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's going to be us. We are the underdogs, but our will to win cannot be measured. And I promise you this, my will to win is bigger than our competitors. That's a fact. And we will win. We will win. And we're going to impact a million lives doing it. So hopefully you guys understand the vision. Let's jump right into what we do and the actual product side so you guys fully understand why our products are so different. John, I don't know if you want to come up here and do this or you want me to run through it.
You can do it. Go ahead.
Huh?
Rock it out.
Yeah. So by the way, guys, this is John. He's one of our head distributors of our organization. You've been in network marketing now for how long?
Almost a decade now.
Almost a decade. So yeah. John, why don't you explain exactly our product, what we do, and exactly how we're going to do it?
Yeah, first and foremost, let's give it up to Ralph. That was incredible. And just to give you guys a little background about myself, and before I even met with Ralph, so I've been in the industry for 9 years now. First company was ATN. I know there's some familiar faces in the house. Second company was product based. I got out of the industry, circled back around with Real Rise. But one of the things that I really appreciated about Mr. Rafael Vargas was, something that really, I remember sitting down with my first mentor. He said, John, if you want to find a good leader, just identify their priorities. He said the priorities of a good leader are number 1, vision, number 2, team, and number 3, self. When I sat down with Rafael Vargas back in November, the one thing that was consistent in his message was that he was always talking about the vision. Right, and I'm glad that he mentioned it today. Yes, he's got offers, everything else, but we can agree that his number 1 priority with Real Rise Academy is the vision. Yes or no, right? And I just appreciate that so much with him, and outside of obviously what he's been able to do financially. So with that being said, I have the boring part. Let's talk about our product right now. I know we said a lot about the comp plan. We're going to get there, right? But I'm going to talk about why our platform is so simple. Because by show of hands, how many of us have already heard about Forex? Right? Or are familiar with Forex trading, everything else, right? So we are already familiar with a lot of these stats. Yes, it's a $6.6 trillion a day industry. Yes, it's bigger than, the stock market, which is $196 billion a day traded. But what's really good, and a lot of us are coming from different backgrounds and different companies, is that Forex is global, right? It's global. We have a global opportunity. And number 2, before we even talk about recruiting, let's understand that the average person in network marketing, you guys know how many people they recruit? It's less than 2 people, okay? So if you have a product that works, where they can make money without recruiting a single person, what's gonna happen when they actually make money on the product side? They're going out there talking to people with what? Real conviction. It's not like, hey, this juice kind of works. Hey, this trading kind of works. Oh, hey, we have a trading platform, just get started. I'm a builder, but you guys trade. No. People are coming in and they're actually getting results trading because of how simple it is, guys. And I really want you guys to understand that. So let's go to the next slide. And obviously we know we trade foreign currencies. Next slide. We make money when the markets, go up or down. So we can take buy positions or sell positions. And basically what that means is that if you take a buy position, market goes up, we get paid. If you take a sell position, the market drops, we get paid. So if we get paid in whichever direction the market goes, then how can you make sure that you're a profitable trader? There's people that can't even copy correctly in Forex. So you guys understand that, right? So we wanted to dumb it down. We wanted to create it so simple. And we've seen a lot of different trading platforms out there. And we said, how can we take, instead of and he briefly touched on it, I don't know if you guys caught it, he said, we don't want to have multiple different strategies. We know in network marketing, simple scales, right? So we don't want to have a product line of multiple different offers and multiple different strategies and confuse people, because confused people do what? Nothing, right? But if they have something that's simple, 3 steps is what we have with Real Rise. 3 steps, then they're going to be able to make money trading, and a lot of it. We actually have one of our traders here in the building. So let's go to the next slide. Actually, I skip over to, I want to go really dive into what it is that we offer. So these are the 3 steps that we offer here with Real Rise Academy, is our video course, our live calls, and getting funded, okay? Video course, live calls, and getting funded. So this is what it looks like. Obviously, you can do it on a desktop. You can do it on our mobile app on the go. We have a very sexy and user-friendly mobile app as well, so you can download that if you don't already have it. But this is going to cover all of the basics, from the technical analysis, the psychology of trading, real-rise block structure, everything else. But at the end of the day, what is it really designed to do? It's designed to help the brand new person read a chart. Okay, that's all it's designed to do. The next step is step number 2, is where the excitement starts to kick in. So we trade live every single day, London and New York session, which is 3 to 5 a.m. Eastern and 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. And the beauty behind the lives is that they're open format Zooms, which means that our new student has accessibility to ask questions. I tell people all the time, it's like having a one-on-one mentorship feel, but designed for the masses. Okay, one-on-one mentorship feel designed for the masses. So they can come on there and ask questions. Not only that, they'll even send their charts. Correct, right? They'll send charts in, they'll say, hey, can you guys dice this up for me? Tell me what you see, everything else. So it's hands-on trading. Training, right? So it's like if you're on the basketball court with Michael Jordan, you're asking him some questions, I would hope that you know how to dribble the basketball by the time you're done, right? You're gonna be good. You're gonna know what to do. And our students are learning so much faster because they're immersed asking questions with our master traders. And on those lives, we call the trade, right? So we'll say we're going in for a buy on US 30. We're going in for a sell on gold or a sell on, Euro USD, whatever the pair it is that we're looking at. So the new student, they can get the exact same entry point, partial down, exit, everything else, as a master trader. Now how beautiful is that? Not only that, we just released our Spanish course. We now have the compatibility to do it in multiple languages, right? So we've laid the foundation for Real Rise Academy over the last few months, so we can have this meeting here today, okay? So next slide. So if they can't hop on the live for whatever reason, they could catch the replay later. But in addition to that, we also have 2 full-time traders that are sending signals throughout the day, right? Actually, one's a 6-figure trader, the other is an 8-figure trader. We try to get him out here this weekend. We couldn't do that, but he's an 8-figure trader as well. So if you're busy, if people are busy on the go, they can feel confident in actually taking those trades from a master trader, okay? So I always tell people, if you can't copy, paste, and trade, ask your nearest 4-year-old. I know there's some babies in the room, so maybe you could ask them too, right? So I want to talk about our strategy. This is what really separates us from and actually, I want to give it up. Let's give Elisa a round of applause. He's one of the traders that's partnered up with Ruben. I remember, because I've actually never traded, and I remember when I was trading, and he was like, one of the hardest things to do, he shared this with me. He said, one of the hardest things that I've had to do as a trader, even though I've made a lot of money, is to hop on a live with hundreds of people, call a trade, and have the pressure of all of them making money. Right? That's what's different, is that our traders, they have an X factor in themselves, guys, right? That's one of the most powerful or hardest things to do for a trader, because again, it's easy to sit behind the charts, right? Just as it's easy to be a keyboard warrior, right? But he's on there, he's actually giving real value and helping people win live, right? So that's a whole different skill that we could talk about. But I want to talk about our strategy, right? So again, we have incredible risk management. We tend to only take a trade, or we try to take trades at least, that are potential risk reward 1 to 5, which means we could lose 4 times in a row and technically break even. This is actually the real results from one of the weeks in January of this year. I'm going to talk about it, what this means to you. So if you guys are familiar with pips and percentages, you guys will understand. If not, no problem. Investors in the room, you might get excited about this. So maybe take a drink, right? But the first trade we took of the week was -1, so we lost. The second trade we took is +3. The net is +2. Pretty simple math. You guys follow me? Say yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So the next 2 trades we took, -1, we're back at 0. The next trade we took, 4.6, we're up. The next trade we took, -1, 3.6. The next trade we took, banger, 11.3 plus 3.6, that's 14.9%. By the end of the week, we're up 30.6% or 30.6 pips. So what does that mean? Obviously risking 1%, we'll talk about that, but if you would have risked $10, you'd have made $300. If you'd have risked $100, you'd have made $3,000. Now if you'd have risked $1,000, you'd have made $30,000. Now, $1,000 is 1% of $100,000, okay? So what does that mean? If that means that the strategy works, the question isn't does the strategy work? That strategy works. We trade smart money concepts, okay? The strategy works. The question becomes, how can you go out there and access $100,000 so you can leverage the 1% being $1,000? You guys follow me? And that's the X factor on the product side, is that we actually help our new student get funded. I've seen a lot of trading platforms, and very few, if either they mention it under hush tones, okay, but none of them are aggressively pushing the student to go out there and get the funding, because again, if they do, what happens? They're making a ton of money. Are they really going to stick around? Are they going to build, et cetera, right? You know, but that's what we do. Next slide is that we leverage these prop firms like FTMO, like My Forex funds, which are essentially hedge funds, and they say, if you pass our skills challenge, we'll go out there and we'll give you the money to trade with. And what's cool is that we already know what it is, and we have all of the answers, okay? So if you want $100,000 in funding, they give you a $100,000 demo account, and they say, grow this account 10% without losing 10%, which means grow the account from $100,000 to $110,000 without dropping it below $90,000 within a 30-day window. You guys follow me? Yes. Right? And if you succeed in doing that, then we'll give you the real 100 grand. Now here's what's cool. You apply for the test, you get the demo account, you come back to Real Rise Academy, and what do? You copy Alicio. You copy one of our master traders on the live session with proper risk management to pass the test. And that's why almost every single, I would say every 2 days right now, we have a student get funded with Real Rise Academy.
That was 1 week in January. Do you guys have like a 6-month data plan?
Yeah, we do. We have all the data. This was 1 week. Last week was 25.5. The last week was 15.5. The last week was 41. Last week was 40. Our average is about 20% per week, 20 pips per week. Well, yeah, we do have all that data, so that's a good question. So yeah, so what this means is 20 to 40% is what an average trader will make conservatively. And you know, I always tell people, what's better? You can. We all have made money here, right? But why would you put your own money in when you could just leverage other people's money, correct? Right? So why would you put in $1,000 and make conservatively 20 to 40% when you can go out there, pass a skills test, and make 20 to 40%, which is 20 to 40 grand a month on a 100,000 funded account? That's life-changing money. That's the product side. That's the product side, guys, right? And this is global, okay? And like I said, we have some real results. Next slide. Obviously, it's not uncommon to see $1,000 days. We've had tons of these now. Next slide. Next slide. But I really want to emphasize the fact that, and yeah, it's $247 to get started. It's $197 per month because we call the trades live every single day, and we send signals every single day as well. So it's probably on average 5 opportunities daily to make money trading with us. But we just changed this. This is one of our new updates. It's now 2 and free. If you refer 2 people to Real Rise Academy, your entire monthly education is free, so they can get started, they can refer 2 people, they don't have to pay for their education, and they can focus on growing and scaling their account. And next slide. I believe that's you, Marcus. Yeah, so with that being said, you know, that's a lot on the product side. Like I said, guys, look, what we did was we wanted to take a step back and say, hey, look, yes, we know there's platforms out there that are very good, but they're complex. So we want to be very good, but very simple, right? So we are simple, okay? 3 simple steps, people fly through it, they make money on the trading side, okay? And because of that, you know, we have hyper momentum right now because, you know, essentially somebody could get started, not know anything, take a trade when the market's open and make money. But the beauty is that we have all of the resources available to go out there and do so. So if you combine the resources like the FTMO with the product and the platform that we have, you know, it really is a no-brainer. So what I want to do though is...
Can I talk really briefly on the product side right before we talk? We're about to talk about compensation in a second. Edgar, are you here? Edgar, can you come up and give me a marker, please? Or you got the marker, right? Just throw it down there. I want to show you guys real quickly, like John went over that amazingly, by the way. But I just want to go over really quickly, guys, because you're just like, hey, this is another Forex product. I get it. But we're not the same. We're not. Because I've studied and I've gotten every single one of our competitors' packages, and I studied to a T everything that they offer. And one thing that I realized, right, was the same thing that happened when Prudential and A.L. Williams got started. Prudential was this big, multi-billion-dollar insurance firm, and they had all these insurance products, right? All these different insurance products. And what happens is the customer gets confused. Okay, the customer gets confused with all these products. Well, I looked at one of our biggest competitors, and what I realized was they had over 100 educators, okay? They had roughly about 40 to 60 products, and every single day it seems like they're coming out with new products, Forex products. I mean, just on the Forex product side, they had at least, on the FX side, they had anywhere from 15 to 20. They had this cup, this colors, that colors, all these different products, right? But what happens, guys? Forex is already difficult enough to understand. Forex is already difficult enough to understand. So what happens when a customer comes in to one of our competitors, right? We know what happens. They come in, and this is not what you guys want to happen. We don't want them to pay their auto ship of $197, join, want to learn Forex. They come in, there's 15 different Forex products, 10 different crypto products, 100 NFT products, all these different products, 100 different educators, and what happens? They get confused and they leave. And what happens when they leave, guys? Why is that bad for you?
Commission.
Commission, yes, exactly. Commission, your auto ship. These auto ships go down and people de-rank. So I said, how do we simplify this and make sure that customers keep paying and paying and paying? That's the most important thing. And so what we were able to realize was that if we just dumbed it down, this is exactly what A.L. Williams did when they went against Prudential. Prudential had this handbook of all the insurance products they had. It was like this big. A.L. Williams came out with one sheet and they dominated the market because they just simplified it. A.L. Williams came from as a high school football coach, and he simplified it. And what do 99% of the world want? Simple. Okay? Steve Jobs was a genius because he created simplicity in the complexity. This iPhone is simple, but extremely complex. So if we can take this complex thing like Forex and make it simple, more people could win, more people can participate, more people can immediately start trading. JJ, you had, I don't know, hundreds of people already sign up. How fast did they get started and start trading with us?
Same day.
Same day.
Yeah.
And how fast did they start winning?
Same day.
Same day. This week, we've went, I think we went out of all the 11 or 12 trades, we won like 9 of them. Everyone made money. We got a guy named Jose. Doesn't even speak English. The product is fully in English. He's fully Spanish. We spent a little bit of time with him. Jose's a huge leader with another company. Unfortunately now, something happened. He's with us. Fortunately, he's with us, actually, right? But he didn't know anything, and now he's like this Forex trader. He had his own Zoom teaching people how to trade Forex because all he does is copy and paste our signals. Literally, he had his own Zoom teaching people because now he's teaching people the simplicity of our app. And we don't have all these different products. We have one simple Forex product where you guys go right here, you see the trade ideas, you click open, and then what do? You copy and you paste them in your Man T4, right? Same thing with our live trading. But the vision that we give them, like John was saying, is the funded accounts. So all of these hundreds of products, it seems good, but it's not, because we want customers actually paying and producing. So that's, I think, one of the biggest differences between us and our customers is just simplicity and the speed that we get people to actually making money trading, okay? So with that being said, guys, please pay attention to this part. I promise you, the comp plan for the builders, for the guys that are real builders, I promise you, you've never seen a comp plan like this. You're gonna see this comp plan and you're probably gonna get excited, very excited. You'll probably start making calls tonight, probably. So Marcus, without further ado, Marcus is one of our top leaders for our organization's decade of experience in network marketing. So Marcus,
What's up, guys? How we doing? All right. So they did a beautiful job of going over, the product side and everything. And that's what I love. The last thing you touched on was just the simplicity of everything, because we know confused people do what? Nothing. And so being that we're very direct and to the point, we know exactly how to make money in the markets. It makes everyone excited because everyone gets to make money. So I'm going to go over the compensation plan. And just so you guys know, this compensation plan has been in the works for about 4 months now. And we've been doing a lot of research, Rafael, myself, Tony Perez, the VP of Sales, and John, and all the top leaders have just been doing a lot of research on everyone out there, There's other Forex companies out there. We looked at some of what they were doing. We've gone back to look at the ACNs of the world, the Herbalifes of the world, and just saying, hey, how can we come in this space and be, 1, really simple, 2, be really lucrative, and we think we found like the perfect mesh. So I'm going to jump right into it. The first way that we make money, keep going, is actually not making money. It's Strive for 5. And so this is something that we learned in our very first company, a company called ACN. Some of you guys might, anyone heard of ACN before? It's probably the hardest compensation plan, the hardest build. Shout out to Carlos Jimenez, who did RVP and ACN. And so we learned about Strive for 5. And what Strive for 5 is just simply referring 5 people to get a free service. And so now not just our members can get a free service, but our distributors can as well too. So if you have 5 members paying $197 a month, your service is free. Go ahead and slide to the next slide. And we'll jump right into the next one. The first one we get paid, which is the seller commission, 50 bucks. So every single person that signs up for 247 or more, you're gonna make $50 each and every one. It's infinite, guys. So if you signed up 10 people, you would make $500. JJ, have you looked at your back office lately?
No. Yeah. I did earlier. I don't know how much I made.
You don't know how much you made?
Nah.
Well, it's a lot. I can tell you that. Actually, Albert, his business partner, just posted their back office. I think you guys made $2,500 in roller bonuses the first week. So it can become very lucrative. Yeah, shout out to Albert for all the hard work, right? And so I can only imagine what JJ has done as well too, along with Ray and Oscar as well too. So $50 for every single person that you enroll. Doesn't matter if it's your first day or you're 5 years in the business. Every single person, 50 bucks. So let's move on to the next slide. The second way we get paid is actually a generational bonus, and I get excited about this because a lot of times you sign somebody up and you just forget about them. But here it's not like that because we have the E1 and E2 bonus. So what does this mean? Let's kind of draw this out so we can get a kind of visual about this. Let's just say this, I'm gonna use JJ because I just talked about him. Let's say this is JJ. Well, when JJ signs me up, he makes $50, right? Well, as long as JJ is a VP 500, which they hit their first day, right? As long as he's a VP 500, and I go out there and I bring in, let's say Carlos Jimenez, he's gonna make $25 off me going out there and Carlos Jimenez. So JJ wants to go out there and help me recruit as many people as possible. Why? Yes, I make $50, but JJ makes $25 each and every person. So if you had someone that you recruited that brought in 10 people their first week, you would make $25 times 10, you would have $250. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Now the next generation is an E2 bonus. And you have to be a VP 1000, which is a total of 25 people. We'll get to that in a second. But the E2 bonus pays out 10 people. So let's take this a step further. Let's say Carlos recruits Rafael Vargas, right? Well, what will happen is because JJ is a VP 1000 or above, he's actually going to make $10 for that generation. And so, yes, the number goes down, but it's safe to say you probably have more people on this generation than you do on this generation. And so, as many people come on that generation, make $10 each and every one of them. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Let's jump to the next one. Keep going one more time. So this is the bread and butter. Do you have that? This is the bread and butter of the comp plan, guys. This is the residual part of the comp plan. And this is where it gets really exciting because I know there's people in here that have made millions of dollars based on a comp plan that wasn't as lucrative as this, but it was similar. What do I mean by that? I'm not going to name any companies because there's multiple companies that are kind of built like this. They have what we call a 40% line max. What does that mean? That means that you can have no more than 40% of the total volume coming out of one organization. We built 3 legs here, so I'm just going to give you an example of what a 40% line max looks like. Let's say this is you, and let's say you were going to be a VP 500, right? So VP 500, as you can see on the screen, it takes a total of 10 people to be a VP 500, right? So this is what it looked like with a 40% line max. Well, you would have 4 people in this organization, you'd have 4 people in this organization, and you have 2 people in this organization, right? 4, 4, 2, total of 10. Not too hard to do. Everyone in this room could probably do it by tomorrow because we're all superstars, but it gets better because we don't have a 40% line max. We actually have a 60% line max. So watch how this gets better. Actually, I'm gonna leave this here so you can see the difference. 60% line max allows us to help other people. What do I mean by that? In one leg alone, you can actually have 6 people. You guys tell me, if you put 6 people in this leg, do you think you're helping this guy more than you're helping this guy? Pretty safe to say yes, right? You have 6 people in here, you start building what we call, quote unquote, a power leg, right? And so you can have 6 people here, you can have 3 people here, and 1 person here. So for all the leaders in the building, which all of you guys are pretty much leaders, you guys can start seeing where I'm going with this, because what we can do is start stacking leaders in one leg and not be penalized, right? Because we can allow 60% on the leg. So if you're a leader and you're trying to get to what we call executive 10, well, let me just show you what that looks like. You have up to 270 people out of one organization. 270. It's 135 and 45 on the second leg. A total of 180 people pays you $10 a month.
10,000.
10,000 a month. I've seen a lot of comp plans. I've studied a lot of comp plans. Believe it or not, I'm very analytical. I live my life by spreadsheets. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Think about this. If you fall underneath a guy like JJ or Ray or Oscar, who just came in, or Albert, and they bring in 50 recruits the first week, and they're stacking them in one leg, and you fell in that positioning, and let's just say you had this power leg running. 180 people outside that leg pays you $10,000 a month. Has anyone, be honest, has anyone seen anything that lucrative out there? No. No one. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. 180 people. Let's take it a step further, because there's people in here who have made 6 figures a month, right? We can agree to that? Listen to this. Mark, racer. For the people remember what Raph was talking about, 1 million lives? And he said, he kept asking y'all, where does that fall, right? Where does that fall? Where does that fall? So it's safe to say that we're working on building what? A company power leg, right? Mm-hmm. So imagine that you fall on that company power leg and you have 2,700 people in that one leg running. 1,800 people outside of that leg pays you $100,000 a month. 25 grand a week. I don't want to call anyone out, but there's multiple people in this room that have built organizations way bigger than 1,800. There's people in this room who have 1,800 active in their downline right now. This is not hard to do. 1,800 people outside the power league pays you 100 grand a month. Again, this changes the game. Anyone who looks at this that's been in another comp plan similar, they can't look at this and be like, damn, that's amazing. They really can't. Any questions on this? I'm going to open up. Any questions at all on this right here? All right, cool. We're going to the next slide.
You know, it's so lucrative that JJ was able to hit and his team executive 10 in 6 days.
6 days.
Which is, yeah. First of all, yeah. Let's give JJ a round of applause. Killed it.
Yeah.
Marcus,
Sir.
you touched on not getting blocked off.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to touch on not getting blocked off here because I think it means more here than it does anywhere else. And so this next way that we get paid is going to be something probably you've never heard before in the industry. And if you have heard of it before, I'll buy you dinner tomorrow. So this is how it works. From the rank of Executive 10 through Executive 250, meaning all the way up to 500, members may qualify for an additional bonus based on the gap between the rank qualifications. Let's just skip over to the next slide because these are all leaders here. So what does this mean? Once you're in Executive 10, this is a leadership bonus. They call it gap bonus. I'll be real with you. It's a breakage bonus. Anyone that's been in a compensation plan somewhat similar to this, they understand that the jump, actually back up for me like 3 slides to the residual part. All right. Anyone that understands this compensation plan, the exec 10 is 450 people total, right? We can see the jump to exec 25 is 1,200. We can agree that's almost 3 times the growth of your team. So what happens if you have 900 people in your organization in those other compensation plans? Do you make any more money outside of 10 grand? No. If you have 1,000 people, do you make any more money outside of that residual income of 2,500 a week? No, you don't. If you had 1,100, if you had 1,150 people, it doesn't matter. You're not making any more money even though you're bringing the company so much more volume. We call that breakage. That's how companies get rich. That's what owners love, right? So this owner said, hey, listen, we'll give some of that back. Fast forward. He said, hey, listen, if you're an exec 10, we'll give 4% of the volume overage back to you in your pocket. So what does this look like? And so this is why I say it doesn't matter if you get blocked off here. You would love an exec 10 underneath you, because if you're an exec 10 here, and let's just say you have a guy like Greg, who's an absolute monster in this industry, and he's underneath you, and he's an exec 10, it's okay. You want that. Because let's just say he has 100,000 in volume in his organization. Let's say here you have 50,000 in volume in this organization, and over here you've matched it with another 50,000 in volume. It's safe to say you have a total of what? 200,000 in volume in your organization. Now, in a normal comp plan, and most comp plans that are out there, you would still be making just 10 grand a month, $2,500 a week. Well, what this comp plan says is that it says, hey, listen, anything over 88,650 will give you 4% on. So what does this look like? We'll pull up a calculator. 200,000 in your total revenue or total volume. Subtract the 88,650. You have 111,350 in volume that you're not getting paid on in most comp plans. Mr. Raphael Vargas said, hey, we'll give them 4% back. That's going to add a monthly bonus to your check of $4,454. Congratulations, you just got a 45% raise just because you helped develop other leaders.
Oh, wow.
So when Carlos says, hey, tell him how you don't get blocked off, it doesn't matter. You want this guy to be an exec 250, an exec 500. Why? Because you're getting paid on all that volume. It doesn't matter. There's no getting cut off. You know, when I was in ACN, we got cut off. You hit TC, and you had a TC underneath you, your income basically went flatline. You had to hit RD. You had to go up to the next level. For the people who have done so another company, FES, right? Another company, you get blocked off. Here, it's like, hey, listen, go out there. Let me help you do it. Why? Because I'm still getting paid on it. I got a 45% raise simply by helping Greg go exec 10. And so when we say it doesn't matter if someone outranks you, it doesn't matter if someone's better than you, you want that in this organization because it's still going to pay you more money. Does that make sense? We can do the numbers all the way up. As you can see, the numbers do get smaller. But what I can tell you is the volume gets bigger. If you look at exec 50, it takes 2.4 in volume, 2.4 million in volume to hit that position, but you're getting 1.5% on everything over. I don't know the exact volume you need to hit exec 500, but I imagine somewhere around 5 million in volume. So you can start doing math. If you had 4.5 million, another 2 million in volume times 1.5%, that's $30,000 added to your check. So it gets better and better. And this is what we call a breakage bonus. And I guarantee it, like I said, I'll buy you a nice dinner tomorrow if you guys can pull up a comp plan and show me another breakage bonus.
It's never been done.
It's never been done. Next slide. Last way to get paid.
I love this one.
So this is for the little guys. So we said, hey, listen, this is a leadership bonus, right? Who's got to be exec 10 or above to get it. We said, what about the little guys? So the little guys say, hey, listen, I want to go out there and hit VP 1000, VP 2000, 5000, exec 10. How do I get paid extra bonus? Well, it's very simple. When you become a VP 1K, VP 1000, you're actually going to make a one-time bonus of $1,000. You hit VP 2000, it's $2,000. You hit VP 5000, one-time bonus, $5,000. That's $10,000. So let's just take JJ, Ray, Oscar, and the Paid House, for example.
Paid House.
Paid House, right? So let's just take them, for example. They sprinted through 1K, 2K, 5K, exec 10 in 6 days. If we add this up, they made $18,000 in rank bonuses alone. So for the So for the leaders that are looking at this compensation plan, like, hey man, listen, I want to make money on the way. Most compensation plans that are built like this, you can't make anything but the residuals. You might make a roller bonuses, which you guys have made tons of. But listen, we can honestly say this. We can honestly say that you can come in our comp plan. If you snap exec 10 within 30 days, you will make 20K plus. A lot of compensation plans cannot say that. And we can, because of these bonuses here. $18,000 of bonuses on the way to exec 10. Once you get to exec 10, you got the breakage bonus. You're making $2,500 a week. You're happy. Any questions on the compensation plan?
That's crazy.
Masterpiece. That's good. The masterpiece. We no longer call it the compensation plan. We call it the masterpiece.
Hey, guys, the only thing I'll say.
When do we get started? Exactly.
The only thing I'll say about this is that Marcus, myself, Tony have spent. I've personally spent. I've invested over $3 million in this company. All my own funds. Everything on my own. We have no investors currently at the moment, right? Yet, but soon, right? But $3 million in my own money, and I took this to 3 different comp plan designers because I couldn't believe that this actually worked for our company. Because at the end of the day, we want our company to last. The company comes first. If the company comp plan, like we saw with another company, pays out 75%, the company comes here today, you guys run up the comp plan, and it's gone tomorrow, right? So we know that this comp plan works after taking it to 3 different designers and breaking it down and down and down. And so, unarguably, I think this is one of the best compensation plans in network marketing right now.
100%. Unarguably. And the exciting part is that there was, you know, I'm glad you said that, because when he came back and he told us, you know, what it was paying, where we were at between the 3 companies that looked at it, you know, me as a distributor, I'm like, okay, so we got to add a little bit more in this thing, don't we? You know, so there's a little bit more room to wiggle. But hey, listen, guys, this is the compensation plan. Super excited to start looking at this, and just know that we're different. We're different than every other comp plan out there. No one can say that, oh, we're just like this company, or just like B company, or just like C company. We're completely different in our compensation plan and the way that we move and the way that we're doing things. So with that being said, that's all I got for the compensation plan, unless there's any questions at all. Any questions?
Get the link.
Yeah, get the link, exactly. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring up one of the head educator
Actually,
for.
I have a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, one thing you should definitely